Coaches, I know it's been a while since I've been on, and I wanted to sort of hop on and tell you what we're working on, what we've been doing. I had a chance this past weekend to speak at the Commonwealth Football Coaches Association's annual clinic up in Waynesboro, Virginia. Had a great time at it, talking about offensive line play. Hopefully, saw some of you there. Um, I previewed it a little bit there and announced we were going to do it. I'm going to announce it online now so we can get going um, and sort of introduce what's next. What's going to be next is the history of the double wing and diving into what the double wing offense is, diving into how you prepare for it, diving into how you can run it. And I'm all ears wanting to figure this out. I've defended a double winged offense pretty much almost annually since I got into coaching. Just to give a little background, this episode really is sort of the launch where we're going with the double wing offense and to tell you where we're going. I'm getting back into those history-esque, historian-based offensive shows. My wing T one did really well. My single wing one did really well. And so now we're going into the double wing and trying to take a look at that. And I hope I got some of you guys, you dinosaur football heads, out to it. And really what got into it, the toss. Okay. The toss for me. So I finally, after thinking about this and thinking about this, decided to look up and research the toss. And we'll talk about the double wing as a whole. I'm going to see about now. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get on huddle real quick here and show you what we talk about when I talk about the double wing. Okay. As chances are, some of you, if you're from a bigger high school, may not have seen this. This is I like to think it's a small school haven of offenses, um, but it's not necessarily limited only to small schools. So I've seen the double wing both in the gun and under center. So you want to take a look. This is our state championship game from our classification last year. And this isn't the pure form of the double wing, but this is Essex High School, won the state championship, was state runner-up the year prior. They run their own version of the double wing. You see here their tackle over, actually with an unbalanced set first play of the state title game. And they're running their own version of it. So you got games like that. I'll hop out of there. I'll toot the horn as I go down. Don't y'all love new huddle? I've gone all the way back to 2023. Wow. Um, Here you go. Our film's a little wide, but you'll see the traditional more double wing with the school I used to play and coach at, Buckingham. I never coached the double wing there, but this is your traditional double wing, too tight, under center double wing. Running their sweep, running their wedge. They love wedge at Buckingham. We did a good job early on playing it well. Getting them to go 3 and out was big. Get through here, show you a little bit more of them. This is what I'm talking about when I go double wing in here. You see a little, they're going to pull. This is what we call superpower. This is what the book The Toss calls the toss. They're going to kick you out first man past the wing right here. Even has him aligned just outside the tight end. We're going to talk about all the adjustments you can do and sort of how we get to that. And I've seen the double wing for years. Central Lunenburg down here has been a big school in the double wing. Riverheads High School famous for you Virginia coaches, won 7 state titles in a row with it. So we're going to talk double wing. Next week, we are starting with the history of the double wing. I picked up this book in preparation for studying the double wing, Jerry Belaton's The Toss, and sort of where he describes, and this is a 1990s book, describing the attack. And if you don't think it's a big stat, some of the misconceptions I think of the double wing are that it's a low scoring, grinded out offense. It can be. It really can be. But then, all right, Jerry Belaton keeps statistics in here. Individual records, most points in a regular season for for people who run the toss style of offense is what he calls it. And this again is from the 1990s, but most points in a regular season, 646. Bloomington High School, second in the nation. Foothill High School, 564 in 1993. Most points overall, that was just regular season. Most points overall, that Bloomington team in a 14-game season scored 880 points with that offense being their primary set. So I'm no math major, but 880 divided by 14 meant they averaged right at 63 a game. And you go through a miraculous amount of seasons here, a miraculous amount of stats. We're talking about Kiai's scoring 44 rushing touchdowns in a 10-game season, individuals. Okay. And we're going to talk about the double wing. I want to talk about superpower or the toss. I want to talk about your counter off a bit. I want to talk about trap. I want to talk about the wedge. So we're going to talk about foreplay. We're going next week, talk about the history of the double wing. And we're going to go wedge or go toss and the counters off a bit. And we're going to delve into the double wing over here these next 4 or 5 weeks. And I wanted to introduce that to y'all and just tell y'all to be prepared. Get those double wing guys. Any resources that I need to go to, okay, please comment below. Let me know what resources go to. And now to the point of the show, what makes the double wing unique? I think the double wing is made unique because it's one of those offenses that, while great with studs, can be done with guys who aren't as, huge up front on the offensive line, guys that aren't as elite at backs. I think it's a consistent offense for your small school guys, especially that can go year in, year out. I've called it communist football because I feel like everybody gets a piece of the pie. And, I thought I would never do this. So we're going with the history of the double wing. I want you to comment down below what sites, where should I go, guys? All right. I'm ready, dinosaur football coaches. Let's go with the double wing. History of the double wing on deck next week.